Alright, so no new Digimon this week, so we're going straight into Overdress as I continue to try and figure out how the hell to do any of this. Will I succeed? Tune in. But for right now, let us talk about Vamguard. And get out your fetish fuel, everybody, because they actually figured out a way to make the cross-dressing relevant. I didn't think they would. I thought they would just forget about it and bring it up randomly every 6 or 7 episodes. But no, it came in and it was kind of important, and that's kind of neat, and we will get to that. But first, let's start off with how the episode opens, with showing that Megumi was watching the events of the end of last week's episode. And man, that looked clean. And if I'm correct, that's also the final shot of Season 1 or Arc 1, her looking down there in the school uniform. If I'm correct, that's a really clean transition from episode to episode, having them all kind of happening in the same orbit with each other. That is the kind of thing I appreciate. But then we go ahead and see that she drops Magnolia, which is good, because I'm still salty about losing to Magnolia at Locals a while back, but yeah, that's another story. Anyways, so, we then skip ahead to the next day, where we see that Toya and Yu are just trying to get everyone back together. We, of course, have the characters from last week. We have Tamari very clearly stretching in a way to show off the goods, if you know what I mean. And then, a couple other people show up, and I like this kind of just natural feeling of the awkwardness of people being in the room with someone who has the reason to feel like he either shouldn't be there or be kind of embarrassed or awkward to be there. It's actually just kind of a very natural feeling sequence. I also like how he still doesn't feel comfortable with the idea of them accepting them. He's still, when the one guy says you don't have to be so formal, he doesn't feel that kind of calmness. He still feels uneasy, if not worse. And then when more people come in, it still affects him. I kind of like that sort of natural feeling of he's not quite ready yet to be around everybody, but has to make the effort to. So then naturally Yu shows up because he's the MC. It's kind of his job to show up. Where I think it was him who found it. He found the missing Magnolia card, and they're like, we gotta get it back to Megumi, because this shit's SP. That's money. So yeah, they're all like, we're gonna find Megumi, and Toya wants to go do it specifically to apologize and talk to her. This is, of course, the main heart of the episode, and that being the idea of Toya wanting to make amends and try and start fresh with everyone. I like the idea that that's just the motivating factor of the episode. We know there's a plot in the background going on with Donji and I don't even remember what the bad guy's name is yet. But the forefront is these characters and how they get along with each other. And I quite appreciate that over a dumb plot any day. So yeah, no, they're all like, we gotta go talk to Megumi. So they go to her house, where standard generic helpful butler is like, well, you can't come here because she doesn't want to talk to you. And I can't bring you to the school because she still doesn't want to talk to you. But when she's at school, I'm not there to stop you from talking to her. Tee-hee, woohoo, I'm helpful butler guy, whee! Alright, so in all due fairness, the only real logical reason he doesn't just go against Megumi's wishes and bring the two friends to her, because this is clearly what she needs right now, the main reason he doesn't do it is so that way we have a plot to the episode, but I'd like to believe that this is almost sort of a test. I think he wants to see how far these two will go to be able to talk to Megumi. Because remember, he doesn't really know who these people are. For all he knows, there's these two weirdo hooligans who hang out at, abandoned circuses or some shit. But yeah, no, he's like, you've gotta go get to the school to meet her. And so then naturally they go to Yu's house. Well, we get the exposition about the school, all girls, blah, 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 prestigious, whatever. We then go to Yu's house, where Yu's sister and mother are super horny for Toya. And I mean, can you blame them? But then they're all like, we gotta get to the school to help Megumi. The one sister's like, oh, is Megumi your girlfriend? He's like, no, I swear, I only have feelings for Donji. But yeah, no, so then, they proceed they take a really long time to get to this. What is the most obvious thing in the world? And that is they dress Yu up in his normal girl get-up, and they dress Toya up as well. I do like the little interactions they all have in between them. It's fun, it's cute, but it's kind of like when you know exactly where a scene is going, to have to sit through the build-up, even if it's good, does kind of feel a little awkward at points. But yeah, no, so then they get dressed up as girls, and yeah, this works. This is a genuine plot reason to dress them up as chicks. Now, I forget if I said this before, I probably have, but when they first revealed that Yu would cross-dress, I didn't really know what to expect out of it. My assumption was it would be a joke, but it was weird they were putting it in a lot of the marketing. And then when the season premiered, he only does it like twice, and it's mostly just a joke at his own expense. So it's sort of like, what was the point to this? And I've always kind of felt that the point was that it was going to be a bigger deal in earlier drafts of the script, but they felt like with the way the world is right now, that probably wouldn't be a good idea. So they just kind of abandoned it, but not before they had already used it in several other marketing mediums. So it just kind of sat there, and they did it in a way that's relevant. She goes to an all-girls school. We gotta dress him up like a girl. And I also like how Toya's even kind of like, wow, this is weird. Like, why do you look so cute as a girl? And again, like, yeah, obviously it's ultimately just an excuse to get them to dress up like this, but hey, it gets the job done. And so, yeah, they dress Yu up in the school outfit. I'm sure there's going to be hentai of this by the end of the day. And then they dress Toya up in this big, lavish dress outfit. And you know what? It's really funny. Like, it looks so over the top and insane. Because with Yu, the joke is he looks too natural as a girl. Here it's just completely over the top, and it is very funny. I also love when we do Toya's reaction at first. It looks like this shock, like, what the fuck? Like, that one shot was great. And then, of course, he's just, like, excited it worked out, but whatever. So then they proceed to get into the school. And when we're in the school, it's, of course, big, famous, rich school, although the shot of them in front of the school, that was clearly an apartment backdrop, and they just kept it. But yeah, no, and so then we see Megumi in school, and we find out, if you thought this show was horny for the boy characters, oh boy, you ain't seen nothing yet. These three, like, Megumi, like, mega fan simps, were just like, oh my god, Megumi, we love you, you're so perfect, we donate all our income to your OnlyFans, please love us. And they're just like, look how perfect she is. Like, it's sort of fun because, like, the waifu debate in this show is Megumi or Tamari, and I am Team Megumi. I don't really have a reason. I just don't think Tamari gets enough screen time for me to care about her that much. Anyways, so yeah, then they're all like, we love you! And I like that you see just like the visible uncomfortableness on her face. She doesn't feel comfortable at school. She doesn't like being around these people. She feels natural when she's with everyone else playing Vanguard. So yeah, that really feels fitting. And I love that bit when the two show up and she realizes immediately what's going on. They just have that silent conversation. What the fuck? What the fuck? That is funny because it's creative, it's different, it's unique. And so they keep the bit up for a little bit. And I love the way it kind of gets revealed. Megumi doesn't like feed into it. She's like, fuck this, why are you cross-dressing? And so the two proceed to grab her by the arm and run off with her. And the friends are just like, they're hooligans. The kid, they're correct! They're right! They're hooligans! Toya blew up a merry-go-round! Yu is actively admitting to ditching school! They're hooligans! This is what Blackout does to you! Card games were a sin! So yeah, and of course, naturally, they get her into the bathroom, and again, I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going, but what it just turns into is Toya and Megumi have their heart-to-heart. Toya explains himself, puts his feelings out there, and Megumi responds in kind. This is a very standard, normal scene. It's good because the actors are good and the everything comes together right. But what really makes the scene work is that they took the genericness out of it. When have you ever seen a heart-to-heart like this where two of the characters are cross-dressing, they're in a bathroom stall, and one is 50%? What the fuck is happening? It's a great scene. I really like it. And so then, like, the episode ends with everything ending up all hunky-dory. Again, those girls should really call the cops. But it all works out, and happy-go-lucky. And end of the episode, we see new chick is just kind of like, ha-ha, it's us! And then the episode ends and I stop caring. Yeah. So that was this episode of Overdress. Really liked it. Really fun, creative, clever, sharp. Exactly what you want out of this kind of show. Even if there was no card fight. But yeah, so that was that. As for the Vanguard question of the week, not really a question, more of a announcement. So this weekend, Saturday, the 23rd, New York City, Chinatown, Silk Road Gaming, will be the Legacy Cup. All the information will be linked down below, of course, but just to go over what that is real quick for those of you who aren't, in this area and just kind of want to know what I'm talking about, this is going to be a big Vanguard tournament being put on by Team Legacy with help from Team Gradelock, and it's just like a nice way to get everyone back out, playing again, check out a popular shop, and just kind of come out and meet new friends. The main event will be D, of course. There will be a premium side event. You do have to wear masks. You have to have proof of vaccination. You do need to have a deck registration form. They will have forms on site if you can't print it out at home. Though, if you're anything like me and you're always scrambling to get everything done at the last minute, I would recommend, if you know what your list is, print it out and get it all set. It will be $10 entry for the standard event. The premium one will be free. The good old boys at Team Gradelock will be live streaming and commentating the main games, and there will be a trophy for champion, the champion, and a custom-made match for first and second place. And I mean, you're in Chinatown. Some of the most fun shops in New York City, don't ask if it's bootleg or not, will be there. There's a lot of great food. It's a fun area. Come on out and have some fun. And I swear I totally wasn't just reading that off of what they sent me and told me to say. But yeah, so come check that out. And if we do want to put a question here, would you rather play the D main event or go for the premium side event? Because I've been doing bad at D lately, so maybe I'll just do premium. But we will talk about that more come next week. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you at the Legacy Cup.